Welcome to Across the Gulf Coast, highlighting organizations, events, and people from around our local community.
Hello, I'm Cam Johnson, Public Affairs Manager for Cox Communications, and I'd like to welcome you to this month's show of Across the Gulf Coast, our monthly look at organizations and activities across the Gulf Coast of Northwest Florida. The first event we're going to talk about is taking place in Okaloosa County on Okaloosa Island in February, and it is a wonderful event that everybody looks forward to every year. It's a big week-long event full of activities, culminating with an outstanding banquet with some very high-profile sports figures that come to town. Of course, this is the All Sports Association event, and joining me to talk about that is Steve Boswell. He is with the All Sports Association. Steve, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Glad to be here, Cam.
So let's talk about it. Again, this is a great event everybody looks forward to each year. 46th year, I believe it is.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about this year's event.
Gosh, as you said, it's our 46th year. We've been doing this since 1970. Been in the community, really a special event every year, not just because of the banquet itself, but again, the guests that come in and see our area, and it's an opportunity for us to let our area be seen by some people who aren't normally here. But we've got a long list of activities planned for the week. It starts with Wednesday, where it's an event that's for our membership that is a Hall of Fame reception that we will induct 2 Hall of Fame inductees into our association. Pretty premier list of folks that are there now. So we'll do that on Wednesday. On Thursday, for our corporate sponsors, we start with a golf tournament on Thursday at about noon. We finish the golf tournament and go into our fish fry. We'll have some talent there as well. You may have heard of Michael Orr from the Blindside fame.
Absolutely.
He's scheduled to be one of our guests there. So our corporate guests will have an opportunity to interact with him and hear him speak and ask some questions of Michael and how his career is going. Excited about having him there. Friday morning for our corporate partners, we'll start with an FCA breakfast. It's the Buck Smith FCA breakfast that we have every year. There'll be around 1,500 young kids there. Some representatives from each of the schools will be sharing their testimonies before these other kids, and it's quite honestly, it's probably one of the better things
I
that we do.
bet that's a great event, absolutely.
Seeing these kids gives you a lot of pride in what's going on, and there are folks coming behind us, old guys that we'll be able to look up to that'll do good things in our community. So with that, we'll have a VIP press party in the evening for our corporate guests that they'll have access to our corporate speaker, who we'll talk about in a minute, but they'll be there to interact with our award winners as well as our corporate speaker that will be there as the keynote for our event that evening, which will start at 6:30.
And we'll mention him, your speaker for this
Yeah.
year. Just maybe we'll kind of keep the suspense out there as we talk about everything else. With the event itself, or with the banquet, the night of the banquet, you hand out several awards.
Yes.
Obviously, the Warfel Trophy, which of course a lot of local people understand why the affiliation there. But you also give awards not just to the collegiate and the pros, but also to the local high school and the amateur.
Each award is driven towards a local athlete of some kind. It's the finest, showing off the finest athletes in our area. So we'll start with, we'll have a male and a female recipient for, that's a local standout athlete. It's a full package. It's not just maybe who scored the most touchdowns or or ran the fastest in the track meet. It's a well-rounded student that shows community service. They have great academics, much in following the way we kind of look at our Warfel Trophy. They're the good kids, and they just happen to be great athletes too. Yeah. So we'll award a male and a female in those categories. We'll have a collegiate athlete that came from our area that is excelling in some collegiate format. We'll have a professional that has reached the professional ranks. Early in the early years, we had to have our geography spread a little bit further than we do today. Yeah. But we got a lot of great kids playing professional sports now. That hail from this area. In addition to our collegiate and professional, we'll also have a Special Olympian. That's one of our special awards as well. They're very competitive athletes, and they have their own Olympic activities and events that they go to. But it's nice to recognize one of those Special Olympians as well. It's a very special award for our organization. In addition to that, our Warfel Trophy was just announced this past week in New York, and we will actually be on the Football Foundation show that's in Orlando that Tom Brazell, our executive director for the Warfel Trophy, is there to announce that. It's Deterian Shackelford is our winner this year. He's a defensive linebacker from Ole Miss.
Right. And then you also have the award honoring the student from Niceville, the football
Absolutely.
player from Niceville.
At the FCA breakfast that we mentioned, the Bucksmith FCA breakfast, we actually have one of the activities that we have for that, because it's a student-driven event, is the Taylor Haugen Trophy that we award to that special person that has been awarded. We have there's a 4-person committee from our organization, as well as the Taylor Haugen Foundation, that we get together. And I can tell you that's one of the toughest awards we have to go through, because there's some very important kids that deserve that, and we spend a lot of time trying to get to that right one. We think we've done a good job.
Give it to one.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the keynote speaker.
Okay.
We're kind of getting short on time, but I want
Sure.
to leave enough time for that. And over the years, you guys have had some real headliners, and so kind of end the suspense for us a little bit and tell us who you have on tap for 2015.
For 2015, our president, Coy Browning, this year. We have a rotating president every year. Coy Browning is ours from Browning Law Firm. He couldn't be here today and asked me to step in, but he's proud to announce that we've selected Pete Rose of Major League Baseball legendary fame. He's currently still the all-time hits leader in the Major League Baseball. So we're excited to have him join us this year, and pretty excited he's going to put on a pretty good show.
Absolutely. It'll be a great event. Now, if people out there watching want tickets, want to be involved, sponsorships, anything like that, what can they do?
They can access our website at www.allsportsassociation.org. They could go to the warfeltrophy.org, where they would find links to this information, or they could contact myself at 850-586-1005. And we'll be able to tell them how to get sponsorship information. We have, at the banquet, we'll have a live auction, a silent auction, many, many ways to help contribute. Even if you can't go to the banquet, we have things throughout the year that they could be involved to help us out.
And you just said a key word there I want to touch on real quick, contribute. All sports, everybody knows about the banquet, but there's more to all sports than just the banquet and just these activities.
We're working all year long.
All year long. Tell us a little bit about the mission of your organization.
The mission of All Sports is we're an active 100 members, plus a number of active past presidents that are still involved in the association. We gather together monthly, and we have activities that we're doing in an effort to support youth athletics organizations within our community, 501c3 opportunities that we can help those particular youth-oriented associations to grow their membership and help their kids and achieve some of the things they need to with our youth.
It's a great organization. It's a great program. It's always very popular here along the Emerald Coast to see who the speaker is, and I know everybody's always looking for the tickets that start the year every year. If you don't mind, real quick, give us the date and location one more last time.
It's an easy one to remember for me this year. It's going to be Friday, February the 13th at the Emerald Coast Convention Center. We'll start again. The banquet will start at 6:30. So if you want tickets, you better call us now, because it's always a quick one to go.
All right, Steve, thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, enjoyed it.
Thank you. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be in our Pensacola studio talking about events in Escambia County.